40 minutes south of San Francisco lies Half Moon Bay Golf Links. It's not a bad substitute for Pebble Beach at about a quarter of the price, and I used to live about 20 minutes away, and it feels good to be back. Today I decided to tee it up from the blue tees at about 6,500 yards. And if you want the real money shots, feel free to skip to the back nine where the course shows the majority of its beauty. But the front nine has plenty to offer as well. A lot of shots on this course just felt like playing in a dream sequence, like the approach here on 1. The air is thick near the Pacific, and this one comes up a club short. This chip doesn't release for me, and with no time spent on the practice green, I make a bit of a blunder here on my first putt of the day. And I'll have about 2 or 3 feet coming back, and unfortunately I yank it a bit. And I'll have to settle for a double on 1. This shot also feels like playing in a dream sequence, but unfortunately I haven't found my driver swing yet. Nor did I learn my lesson from the first hole, that these shots are playing about a club long. I wind up in a wet bunker here, and that's not a particularly good effort. This one's okay though, and I calm my nerves a bit by making a putt on 2. That's a decent iron swing, and I'll have 15 or 20 feet for birdie on 3. But I hammer it by the hole, and I'm out of frame on the par putt here, but I do make it. This wasn't strategic, but lucky for me there is some fairway on the left. And this was a good strike and drawing towards the green. I was hoping it would trickle on, but I'll still be 15 or 20 yards short here. And unlike on 1, that chip does release a bit too much. And the birdie putt stalls on the lip. That's another wayward drive on 5. But I do have a shot at the green, and this 6-iron comes up just a foot or 2 short. This is a long lag putt from off the green, and I'll have about 8 or 9 feet left for par. And I find the hole. That's a decent drive here on 6, and I'll have about 130 in. This one's on line, but hit thin, and it kicks quite a bit left of the flag. And I give it a good smack through the fringe here. And that's another nervy putt that I managed to make. Speaking of nervy shots, this one has a lot of carry, and I'm happy that I catch the front right of the green. And how about those golf gods? We decided to start playing a money game on 8, and I'll show you here why I'm not a scratch golfer. With the pressure on, I hit a horrible shot here. It finds an obscure fairway bunker about 130 short of the green. And how about those golf gods? That's a shank. I put bad contact on this one. And can you say blow up hole?
Alright, we're putting.
Now I'll have about 25 feet for double. And the post birdie F-up completes with a triple. This one was also playing about a club long. I hit it well, but it lands short, and I bump it up now with an 8-iron. There's a slope past the hole, and I'm hoping my ball will come down, but instead it stops, and I'll have a really delicate one here that just slides by. So a bit all over the place on the front 9. Blow-up holes on 1 and 8 cost me a look at a good score, but the driver started working, and I'm optimistic heading into the back 9. That's a good drive here on 10, and you'll hear the drone fly overhead here. I'll have that footage coming soon. This is a blind shot that I thought would be okay, but actually lands quite a bit short. And I'm hoping just to get up and down here.
Go on, cash money, yes!
And instead it's an unlikely birdie, which is always good in the money game. That one was alright, but I'll still have quite a ways home. And I give my 3 hybrid here all I've got, and it gets to the front of the green. And finally now I'm dialing in my lag putting speed. And I'm very happy with the 2-putt here. This one is just all over the flagstick. It winds up at about 7 feet, and I'll make my 3rd birdie in the last 6 holes. This is a pretty fantastic view here. Maybe only beat by the one at Pebble Beach. And that video is coming soon, so be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when it's released. That's a good drive here on 13, but I'm left in a bit of an awkward side hill spot here.
Go. Sit.
And it does manage to squirt up about pin high. But coming out of the fringe, I don't give it enough. And it's going to lead to a pretty avoidable bogey. This is a beautiful par 5. It really feels like a Scottish links hole. And even though this 4-wood's a bit wayward, the terrain here is going to filter this one back to a great spot. And I should be able to get this one close for birdie, but I landed on the middle of the green, and it rolls back all the way to the front.
I would say just in front of it.
Yeah. It's right in front of it. Who cares?
And that's a great lag after the putt on the last hole. And I will get out with a par. We're playing into the breeze now, and from only about 155 home, I grab a 175 club. And it was the right decision, as it makes its way to the green. But suddenly it's a bit of Jekyll and Hyde with the flat stick, as ramming that one by cost me a bogey. This is the view on 16 here. It's a pretty decent backdrop if you ask me. I hit that one well, and my rangefinder won't lock on the flag here, so I'm kind of guessing and hitting a 7-iron here. It's fine and gets to the back of the green. And I thought this one was good the whole way, but it just slides by, and I'll take par. Here's my channel in a nutshell. Great views and very inconsistent golf. I was lucky to get club on that one, and it doesn't get all the way to the green. But this is a good shot that will give me a look at getting out of here with just a bogey. And you better believe I'll take that. This is such a gorgeous finishing hole. And just like the opening hole, all of the approaches on this hole just seem to be playing out of a dream sequence. It's a blind 80-yard shot into the green, and I managed to find it. And closing with a par is fine by me. It's a raw 79, but the triple gets adjusted to a 78 for the purposes of handicapping. And a 6.4 differential on this course is fine by me. The back 9 was particularly good after the front, but note that with 22 bad shots, I still managed to break 80 today. So hopefully that can be encouraging for some of you who hit a whole lot of bad golf shots. Even when the scores get better, sometimes there's bad shots in there. It's just about rolling with it and grinding out a score.